What is up, guys? Welcome back. Black.Death.Thrash.Doom. This is Joel, and it is time to continue my black metal collection, going through my CDs in alphabetical order and checking out all the black metal, dark metal, Viking metal, Black Death. That's all kind of encompassed that's in my black metal collection. My black metal collection's not strictly black metal. I know they've explained this 1,000 times, but for new viewers, yeah, you'll find Viking metal lumped in there, and you'll find dark metal lumped in there. You know, things like Root, or you might find things like Tearfing in there, and you might find things like Belphegor in there. You know, some people are going to say, oh, that's Black Death metal, or oh, that's Viking metal, or oh, that's, you know, whatever. I don't really care. For ease of trying to find stuff, I just kind of lump things either into a blackish metal category, a death metal category, and a thrash metal category, and then I have my other music and other metal. So anyways, with that long explanation out of the way, we are into the C's. We just got into the C's on the last episode. Actually, funny fact, I am filming this the same day as that last episode. I was just extra motivated, already had everything set up, just scooted over this tapestry a little bit, and yeah, let's continue on. And, yeah, I just like to space videos out a little bit because, you know, I want them to season a little bit, if you know what I mean. But here's the first one today. Oh, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. That would be amazing. What was your favorite CD on here? Have you picked up anything cool? What's the coolest thing you've listened to recently as far as metal? Let me know in the comments down below. And be sure to like and subscribe. It's the best way you can support the channel, and you'll know when I put out new videos, which should be more often. Right? Right? Right. Catamenia. Symphonic melodic black metal from, I believe, Finland. And these guys are so long forgotten. But yeah, they're very symphonic, very melodic. The symphonies are very upfront. These guys always have wolves on their cover. They have always got snow. And indeed, these guys are kind of an icy, cold band. They're not bad. Very symphonic and, you know, fairly memorable. What's interesting about this band is their songs are not very long. They tend to have like 3 and 4 minute long songs very often, and which is a little bit unusual for black metal, especially symphonic black metal. But there you go. And this is one of those CD Maximum Russian guys. But there's only been 2 pressings of this album on CDs. This is the second one. So yeah, interesting stuff. If you like icy, cold, symphonic black metal, then you will probably like Catamenia, and you should give them a listen. They have plenty of albums. Alright, moving on, we are going to France with Celestia, one of my favorite bands from France, and happens to be what we're listening to in the background right here, just a selection of a few different songs. But this is their Cave Full of Bats. I want to call it like a compilation. It's not really a demo. I think it might have demo material. There's several pressings of this. Very, very many pressings of this. Depending on which one, it varies the track listing quite a bit. But this is the one I have. It's on GoWarex, or however the hell you pronounce that. And for a while, this was not even on the Metal Archives. I got this used in San Francisco to Meet the Music a long, long time ago, and it's pretty cool. If you don't know who Celestia are, they play kind of warm, almost romantic-sounding, mid-paced black metal, you know, sometimes slower, sometimes faster, but for the most part, kind of a mid-paced, warmer sound for black metal. Here's their Dead Insecta Sequestration, and this is also kind of a compilation. This is one of the few bands that I have, like, compilations from, because some of their stuff's hard to get, and they just have so much material, and they were fairly cheap. But yeah, it's got just material from, like, demos. I think there's some live songs in here, and there's, like, maybe a couple songs from albums. I don't honestly remember. This and another one I'm going to show in a little bit I just got recently through mail order, and yeah, it's a pretty cool, nice slipcover. And yeah, Celestia, warm, romantic black metal that's sometimes very harsh and sometimes very, very beautiful. Next we've got Frigidis Apothesia Abstinentia Genesis. I don't know if that's how I pronounce that at all. I fucking love this cover. This is a really good album. I'm kind of a fan of Celestia. And yeah, this one's a really good album. Very, very good album. Many good songs, and something you should definitely check out. Moving on, we've got more Celestia with the Retrospective. This is the other one that I got that's kind of a compilation, and I just got it recently, so I'm not too familiar with it. I don't know exactly what it is that's on here. Really cool shot of the band live on the back, but look at how many songs that comes with. And I mean, some of these are super rough, demo-like productions, and then some of these are actually pretty damn good sounding, and yeah, I just need to listen to these a little bit more so I can give my thoughts on this a little more carefully, in depth. Yeah. And then we've got another full-length album from Celestia. This is my personal favorite. This is Arcanae Perfectae Le Arcane Desparfait. I don't know how the fuck you say that, but another super nice digipack. I just love the way their presentation is, always with the silver ink, and just beautiful and mysterious, and these guys just have so much atmosphere and so much charm, so much love that's being put into their music. And yeah, I love everything about the presentation. Celestia is amazing. Yeah, if you like warm, romantic black metal that's sometimes speedy, sometimes slow, but overall kind of mid-paced with some crazy screamed vocals, then yeah, check that band out for sure. Moving on with more C's, we've got a pentagram made of... Aren't these the naked ladies? Yeah, made of naked ladies. But yeah, we've got a pentagram here, and this is actually Ceremonial Castings, Salem, 1692, and this is like the redoing of the album. This is actually fairly rare. This is hand-numbered 506 out of 666, and yeah, this is some fairly brutal, yet atmospheric and melodic black metal. It kind of goes all over the place. Sometimes kind of brutal, sometimes beautiful. But yeah, not much to show there with the slipcase. Those guys are from Washington. I don't have a lot to say about them because I haven't heard that a whole lot, to be perfectly honest. Does anybody remember Thonic from Taiwan? Like, for a while, these guys actually were, like, getting pretty well known and being seen places, but back in the day, these guys were really underground, and actually, the CD is pretty hard to get. This is the 9th Empyrean, and yeah, this is melodic, symphonic black metal as well, and... yeah, from Taiwan, and there's all kinds of craziness going on here. There's like intros within and like weird sub songs, and yeah, I don't understand their track listing sometimes, but this is interesting music. It's very moody compared to the newer Thonic stuff. It's definitely a bit more melancholy and dramatic and epic, and yeah, it's pretty good. I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot, actually. That is a very silly look, but okay. Yeah, Thonic, pretty cool. If you like symphonic black metal. If you like Cradle of Filth, honestly, you'll probably like Thonic. And I do have another Thonic album. This is the Cetic Bale album, and I love the cover. I fucking love the cover to this album. This is kind of a hard album to get. I believe there are now a couple different pressings of it, so at least you can find some pressing of it. But yeah, this is a weird one because it doesn't start... If you put this in a CD player, it won't start till... track 5 because they put all the video tracks first. There's a few video tracks in here, and sometimes they really just do not like to play. But yeah, this is a pretty cool CD. Also pretty dark, melancholic, and symphonic and weird black metal, and I like it. I like it a lot, actually. But these guys really changed their sound later on to something a bit more digestible for the masses, for sure. Moving on, a band that I saw live here locally, not that horribly long ago, maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. This is Cloak to Venomous Depths, and yeah, this is like basically Watain worship, except for if you added a bit of rock to it. This is a bit rockish, and I never know what the hell this symbol means. I just, if anybody knows what the hell this means, it definitely doesn't say Cloak. I've stared at this thing 100 times and I have no idea. In fact, I have a shirt from these guys, and I have no idea what that symbol's supposed to be. But Cloak, yeah, it's honestly like Watain mixed with a bit of rock, a bit rockish for black metal. What the hell is that hat that he's wearing? The hell? Okay, yeah, so anyways, yeah, not bad. Catchy black metal, not bad. Moving on, one of my favorite bands, actually my lady, she is a huge fan also. Our goal is to see Cobalt This is the Jin album from Cobalt. If you've never heard Cobalt before, I would describe these guys as maybe... God, geez, it's hard, because I wouldn't describe these guys necessarily as black metal. However, they definitely have a black metal tilt to them. They're very dark metal, and, geez, it's really like warlike, kind of groove sometimes, catchy as shit, scathing, violent, and a band that you've never really heard anything like it before. If you've never heard Cobalt, just do yourself a favor and check out the song Jin, the title track from this album, and you might just be as impressed as I was. I listened to that song first so many times before I explored more Cobalt. Has that ever happened to anybody, where you just get stuck on one song and then you don't listen to the rest of somebody's discography? Yeah, I did that with Cobalt. First it was just Jin, and then I really got into, I think it's Stomach, that's fucking amazing. Every song on here is amazing, and they're all over the place. Some are more doomy, some are wacky, some are speedy as shit, and some are just absolute crazy blasters. And with that description, we're just going to go to the next album, which is Slow Forever. This is their latest album, and it's so long they put it on 2 discs, and thank God for that, because it's just more of the same, just pummeling, destructive metal. Not necessarily black metal. Again, I put it in my black metal collection because it just falls under the dark category. It's definitely not death metal. But yeah, it's somewhere in the black metal spectrum. More than death metal for sure, but it's abrasive, it's fucking well produced, and absolute destruction, violence, and brutality in the best possible way. I cannot say enough good things about Cobalt. Okay, moving on to Germany, we've got Cold World with Melancholy Squared. This is a really cool, depressive black metal album that is sometimes even a little bit ambient, and it's pretty catchy, but it is very cold, very desolate, and yeah, good black metal. I really appreciate it. I believe this is just one dude, but yeah, really cool stuff. You could see just by the song titles that, yes, this is a very depressive band, but very cool. I actually highly recommend this one. Cold World has some great atmosphere, chilling, dark, dank, and depressive. And by dank, I mean icy. Melting ice. if that's what dank could be. Okay, moving on, we've got Consummation from Australia. This is the Great Solar Hunter, and first of all, I love this slipcover. It's just a really cool look, and inside, even better, just amazing artwork. But yeah, the Great Solar Hunter by Consummation. Whoops, damn it. Amazing artwork. This shit is dark. This is like if you took... It's really funny because this artwork doesn't really scream what I'm about to say. But this is really, really like dissonant, dark black metal that is heavy also, and just, it sounds almost like Blue Dot Nord meets like Portal. It's fucking really dark, and for the most part mid-paced. There is definitely a faster song in here. I believe it's the 3rd song. But for the most part, yeah, slower to mid-paced, heavy, and just dark and oppressive black metal. Consummation, very good stuff. I couldn't remember what they sounded like today, so I put it on real quick, and holy shit, I instantly remembered that. I need to listen to that more. It is amazing. Okay, we're going to get into another symphonic black metal band. Honestly, one of my favorite CDs ever. This is Covenant, In Times Before the Light. This is absolutely one of my favorite symphonic black metal albums from the past, and this is the same Covenant that gave us Animatronic and, SETI, freaking weird-ass albums. They changed their name from Covenant to The Covenant with a K. I've talked about this before. A downgrade, in my opinion, from this. In my opinion, even Nexus Polaris was a downgrade from this. This is just really medieval sounding. I love that picture. But very medieval sounding. God, that CD is amazing. Very heavy on the symphonic, and just has an atmosphere all its own. If you've never heard Covenant's first album, this is where it's at. This is what you should be listening to. If you like old Satyricon, or, even Dissection, if Dissection had heavy keyboard use, it's got a very similar vibe, atmosphere, and just, man, Covenant is amazing. Maybe not Dissection. That might have been a bad example. I just am drawing a blank on other symphonic black metal acts that are kind of like Covenant back then. Dimmu Borgir's Stormblast is kind of similar to it, actually. And then we get into Cradle of Filth, and they're going to be like, it's not black metal. I'm not going to go through the explanation again. This is all dark metal and symphonic. And anyways, Cradle of Filth back then definitely had quite a bit of black metal influence. Definitely had some goth in there too. But yeah, Cradle of Filth, Principle of Evil Made Flesh. What can be said about this fucking gem? Jesus Christ, this shit was fucking aggressive. The production was really underwhelming, but almost lent it well to the album, and just a crazy trip. Yeah, this is just a trip down memory lane. I love this album, and was very stoked to find this used at Sam Goody for a decent price. And then I think that's actually where I found this. This is my favorite Cradle of Filth material, Vampire. I fucking adore Vampire. I love everything about it. True vampiric black metal, symphonic black metal. Man, I absolutely love this album. Ebony Dress for Sunset. The Forest Whispers My Name, quite possibly my favorite Cradle of Filth song. But yeah, everything on this is fucking incredible. I got a couple more Cradle of Filths. We got Dusk and Her Embrace, arguably the best material from the band, even though I just said Vampire. It's pretty tough to choose between the two. But yeah, I love Dusk and Her Embrace. More of the same, just very fucking vampiric, very dark, but catchy, screeched vocals, heavy on the symphonies, amazing drumming a la Nicholas Barker. Honestly, Nicholas Barker back then is one of the reasons that I loved old Cradle of Filth, man. His fucking drumming was amazing. Listen to Vampire for great examples of amazing drumming. Cruelty and the Beast, love this album. This is actually the one that pretty much got me into Cradle of Filth. I didn't like them the first few times I heard them. I didn't like them at all. It took me having somebody to show me on a giant stereo that was super powerful at ungodly volumes listening to this album, and then I was like, oh, I get it. So, yeah, this is a cool one. This is a double CD, but I don't know how you open it. I don't want to deal with it right now, but okay. And then the last Cradle of Filth I have, because it's really the last one I enjoy, we've got Midian, and this is actually the album that I didn't like when I heard it first. I was like, man, what is this? Especially, God, what song is it? Like, Death Magic for Adepts? One of these songs is very like carnivalesque, and I heard that first and was like, what the fuck is this? I hated it. I absolutely hated it. But then as I started to like Cradle of Filth, I realized that, hey, you know what? This album's actually pretty fucking good. Lord Abortion is a fucking goddamn great song. Cthulhu song as well. Or Cthulhu Dawn as well. I need to listen to this. I might actually pop this in. It's been years. I haven't heard Cradle of Filth much in a while. Besides, I was listening to Dusk and Her Embrace not that long ago. But yeah, Midian, this is the last one, man. I just don't get the rest of it. It's too goth. It's too clean. Even Midian is bordering on that, but at least that one's got some balls out aggression with, again, those two tracks, man, especially, but definitely more. Cradle of Filth is an interesting band that I used to really like a lot, and now I'm like, fuck, man, I won't buy any of their new albums unless somebody tells me it's like their old shit. I only have one Kraft album, but in my opinion, it's the one that counts. I've got Total Soul Rape, and this is a fucking great album. This is black metal that's catchy, sometimes very, very dark, depressive, slow-paced, and then sometimes fast as shit. And then, it's like mid-paced, fast, sometimes slow, but Kraft. This is a great album. I really like this album. I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for saying that last word. That's why I hesitated. Hopefully YouTube's not all about censoring words yet. I know they can censor some, but yeah, what I'm trying to... Desolation Death. My God, that song is the ultimate in darkness. It is so fucking good. I actually really like this CD. I love all the fingerprints on this one for sure, but yeah. Total Soul, R-A-P-E. Great album for sure. Then we've got something that's probably pretty unknown to most people. It was definitely unknown to me. I just randomly saw this one day online and was like, oh, I'm going to click it because of that awesome art that reminds me of Twilight Zone with the crazy, like, giant room-sized computer. And this is Crystal Coffin, The Starway Eternal. And this is really interesting, kind of angular black metal, sometimes kind of catchy, sometimes a bit more technical, sometimes very black metal, sometimes I would say very death metal. They're an interesting band. But yeah, it's one of these tiny little slip covers, but I hate that. But yeah, Crystal Coffin, Starway Eternal, this is interesting shit. Black metal as fuck, they're from Canada. But again, there's some songs that I'm just like, whoa, is this like a death metal band all of a sudden? And yeah, I like the presentation. It came with a really killer sticker too. But yeah, if you've never heard Crystal Coffin, this is a fairly recent release. I can't remember what year, 2021. So yeah, if you've never heard this and want to check out some weird black metal, I love that album art so much. So fucking much. Canada's Crystal Coffin. Great name too. We've only got a few left. We've got Cult of Fire, Triumvirate, right? Yeah. This is really cool black metal that is atmospheric and majestic. It's funny, Metal Archives lists these guys as epic black metal, and you know what? That's a pretty good descriptor. It really is, and there's not a lot of bands that really have that tag on Metal Archives. I love their logo in that picture right there. I guess they change their logo all the time. I've got 2 albums, but yeah, this is really cool stuff. Very weird, eerie, and atmospheric, epic, and majestic at the same time. Very dark sometimes, very beautiful sometimes, but Cult of Fire, definitely something you want to check out. I believe this band is from 2 countries, Czechia and Slovakia. Check out that art back there, my god. Fucking godly. And then the second album I've got from them, we've got Cult of Fire's, I can't remember the name of this. I might put it in the bottom. It's not in English, but there is a translation for it. I just can't remember it off the top of my head. But yeah, Cult of Fire, this album is truly freaking amazing. Very epic, very majestic, cosmic, atmospheric, and some of the best artwork I have ever seen. That picture is amazing. I want a giant tapestry of that picture. But yeah, really cool stuff. Esoteric, badass, intricate, sometimes beautiful, sometimes fucking dark as shit. Always amazing. Cult of Fire rules. And the last CD we've got for you today is a band from Spain, and a band that I've not really heard anybody talk about. Dantalion? I have no idea how to pronounce it, but yeah, Dantalion. When the Ravens Fly Over Me. This is really cool, dark, fairly fast black metal, but no matter how fast it is, it's always got this really melancholic, depressive vibe, and I really love their logo, always have. And yeah, it's weird because the art just doesn't represent what this sounds like. This is fairly fast black metal, tremolo picked, and really good drumming. But yeah, for some reason, it just has this crazy, depressive atmosphere, and I love it. I've got another album by them, so that will be the first one on the next series of CDs in my black metal collection going in alphabetical order. So if you want to check that out, be sure to subscribe. And yeah, leave a comment down below. Which one was your favorite? Which one was the most controversial to you? Are you like yelling because I have Cradle of Filth in my black metal collection? Or are you yelling because Ceremonial Castings is in my black metal collection? I don't know. You tell me. Leave a comment down below. That'd be awesome. Like, subscribe. You guys rule. Keep it metal.